one of those, Berkshire Hathaway, they borrowed about $5 billion from the Bank of Japan at one point, and they put that to work in a stock there in Japan that was paying an 8% dividend. They were making 7.5%. And the stock also appreciated, so they doubled their money. They went from $5 billion to $10 billion while earning the dividend before they exited that position. That's the power, and that's why people have been doing this, right? If you get free money, if it's at half a percent, 1%, negative interest rates at sometimes, that's why so many people have borrowed so much money from the Bank of Japan. And they've taken that and they've put it to work in all kinds of markets. It didn't just stay there in Japan. They've taken it and converted it to dollars. They put it to work in our stock market. They put it to work in the bond market. They put it to work in treasuries, basically risk-free return of 4%, borrowed free money and then earn 4 and 5% on that money for however long you need to. If you had $10 billion, you're earning 4 or 5%. Doing real good. Doing real good on the returns for that. So anybody and everybody that could have borrowed, pension funds, hedge funds, sovereign wealth funds, large family offices, institutions, all of them are levered up. And there comes a point where that gets called. And if you're not able to meet those margin requirements and everybody's rushing for the door at the same time, the system's going to lock up. It's going to be one of those Ice 9 events that Jim Rickards talks about. And the oil thing, that didn't come from me. That came from Jim Rickards. I just happen to be, somebody that looks across all of these people that are smarter than me and then uses critical thinking to put this stuff together. And I think I'm the first person that ever put out anything close to the domino theory. If you guys have anybody else that beat me to it, I would love to see it, especially with it ending with XRP price appreciation. There's been other people that have talked about, specific pieces of it, but nothing as a full comprehensive layout of what would actually happen. And Jim Rickards, again, he played war games with the U.S. And looked at what would replace the dollar or cause the dollar to be displaced as the global reserve currency. And in those simulations is where he talked about conflict in the Middle East and the Strait of Gibraltar being shut down and 1/3 of the world's oil supply being cut off immediately, and the cascade of events that would transpire when that happened. This was like 2000, I don't remember if it was 2004 or 2014 when he's having these conversations, but it was a long time ago, more than a decade ago. Jim Rickards is talking to the U.S. government about all this stuff.